Good morning. Happy New Year. I am so glad that you are here. Welcome to my first vlog of 2024. I'm gonna be honest with you, I wasn't planning on vlogging today. And then it hit me like a bolt of lightning. I got a download in the middle of my journaling practice this morning. And when that happens, I find that it is best not to ignore the downloads. And you know what I'm talking about. Those things that just like kind of occur to you out of the blue. The things that you didn't realize you needed to consider, acknowledge, think about, whatever, and then just boom, they hit you. Literally in the middle of my journaling practice, I got this download, and the download was this. One of my goals for the year, as you've seen in my 2024 annual goals as they are set in the power sheets, is to get out of my comfort zone on a more regular basis. And as I've been kind of like in the back of my mind, maybe thinking a little bit about like, what exactly could I do to do that? You know what occurred to me? The download that I got today in the middle of journaling about something not at all related to this topic. One of the things that is most outside of my comfort zone that prevents me from doing the things that I want to do is vlogging around my husband. And I was like, that is such a simple thing that I could start to leave imposter syndrome, leave, I don't know, embarrassment about him hearing whatever it is I'm vlogging and talking to you about, which obviously it's not a problem. If I'm talking to all of the people on the internet that decide to grace my channel with their presence, why would I have a problem talking in front of my husband? I don't know. But I've complained about it and talked about it with you guys multiple times, right? About like, oh, I just hate when I'm trying to vlog and my husband's home and I just do better without him. One of the easiest ways I can get out of my comfort zone is to vlog with him home and not care. And so that's what we're going to do. And that's how we're going to start the official like first day back at work of 2024. Today is Tuesday, January 2nd. And like I said, it is the first day officially back at work. And I am already feeling overwhelmed, but not like in a bad way. Not in a bad way at all. I'm feeling very motivated and energized by my goals. I have already been checking things off of the to-do list, and I have big things that I need to work for in the middle of chaos that is coming in the form of more travel. Hold please. So I thought that maybe in an effort to share my productive day, like back in the office, so to speak, I would vlog the day with you. What do I have to accomplish today? Great question. I have a list. I have a to-do list here on a pad of paper and on my phone and in my planner, but I'm like, I just need it on a freaking pad of paper so I can just carry it around and cross it off. Work-related things that need to happen today. I have a coaching call with one of my one-on-one clients at 11 o'clock, which is super convenient for me because that means today, tomorrow, and Thursday, I have a standing hour-long appointment at the same time. And I was like, well, isn't that convenient in terms of like scheduling and setting timing expectations? So I have a coaching call at 11 o'clock this morning, and I want to do the thing that I need to accomplish is a content brainstorm. My goal is to actually sit down, and there's this whole methodology of like picking like the buckets and using search and SEO, like all sorts of detailed things. This will probably take me an hour or two, maybe longer, I don't know, to be able to brainstorm all sorts of different topics that would be directly applicable to the content that I create on this channel and my Disabled Diva channel, because we got to get that thing rolling. I uploaded 4 videos in like August or September and then did nothing. But I already uploaded a video that went live today. So the goal is to get that channel rolling as well. So I have to brainstorm topics for both Diva and the Divine and the Disabled Diva. So there's that. That is the first thing that I want to do because I realized that it would behoove me to make this week batch week. And that's very overwhelming. But if I can film for batch week this week, if I can get 4, 5, 6 videos filmed and under my belt, that means that the next week and a half, 2 weeks won't feel as chaotic because I will have footage to edit and upload and do all the technical stuff later, as long as I get the content created. So that's my goal for tomorrow and Thursday. And so I need to create the ideas today. So those are the 2 work-related things. I have a coaching call and I have to brainstorm my content. That's it. Fitness-wise, I have to do a Pilates workout and an elliptical workout. That's it. I have small group tonight, and so I'm going to make brownies because we're having dinner together, so I'm going to bring dessert. So I have to bake brownies, and while the oven is running, I am going to go ahead and finish up. I made some cookies for my husband's birthday, or birthday celebration. We celebrated him when we got back from Christmas travel. Due to all of the timing and complexities of the next couple of weeks, I couldn't like sit down and like make a special dinner. We have some meals that we're having out. Our anniversary is on Thursday, so we're going out for that. So I wasn't gonna cook him something special, but I was like, what is there a dessert type thing you want that's special? He wanted butterscotch cookies, which is just me making Nestle Toll House chocolate chip cookies, but putting butterscotch chips instead of chocolate. So I made myself some chocolate chip, I made him some butterscotch, and I formed them into balls and I put them in the refrigerator. So we have just dough balls that we can take and bake as we go throughout the week. And so I want to finish those up as well. So we've got some kitchen stuff to do, which also means while things are baking, I'm going to clean the kitchen, empty the dishwasher. I have a load of towels that I need to fold. It's a little bit housewife day, a little bit full-time job worker day, and everything in between. And I'm just now realizing that I have not started my timers. One of my goals for the year is to track my time better. I want to be a better steward of my time, money, and resources. And one of the ways that I want to do that, this is what YouTube work, technically speaking, and content creation. I have this app called A Tracker Pro. And what it allows me to do is to track the amount of time that I'm designating to a certain thing. So right now I have 3 things running. I have phone free. Yes, my phone is in my hand, but I'm not actually using it. YouTube work, so work specifically geared towards YouTube content creation. And now that I think about it, I need to bump this back. How long have I been talking? 7 minutes? So I will bump it back 10 minutes because I did set up and content creation as a whole. And I know that seems complicated and unnecessary, but really I want to make sure that I can account for my time. And I want to make sure that I am actively putting in, like, this year is the year for my biz. Y'all, get your hearts ready because I'm going to be putting in more legitimate work hours. And so I want to be tracking those legitimate work hours. Am I putting in 10 hours a week? Am I putting in 35 hours a week? Am I full-time job status, part-time job status? Let's find out. And I want to make sure that I'm getting really specific about the time I'm spending where. I'm also tracking how much time I do not have on my phone. I have all of these tracking things in place to help me be accountable to myself. And that's hard for somebody as an obliger on the Gretchen Rubin's 4 Tendencies. I tend to need external accountability. But this year I really want to empower myself to give myself sort of that external accountability from myself. So the tools are my external accountability. I also have, and I showed you guys these in previous videos, but I have these trackers from the Cultivate What Matters wildcard pages, which I highly recommend, that I have all set up to do some daily tracking stuff. So I have a dental care one, I have a no spending, no extra spending one, that's to be a better steward of my money. 100 ounces of water is like the tracking health related thing that I'm tracking this year. Bible study and or prayer time, I can check that off for today because I just did that. I have one blank daily habit tracker, but here's the intentional hours, like the 1,000 hours tracker. These are time tracking things. And so you can see I have all these little dots, and the goal is to fill in as many of those dots as possible with intentional movement, content creation, and phone free time. And then I'm using one as a things I've used up tracker, so it's not actually time tracking. But I'm very, very excited about all of those things, very motivated and inspired by all of those things. So in order to do that, I have to be diligent about my time. Anyway, welcome to Tuesday. Welcome to my productive day of the new year. And it's not that yesterday wasn't productive. Yesterday was actually wildly productive. My husband and I actually did a thing where we sat down and we completed our finances for December. And my husband does finances every single month. He's a finance man. He is a spreadsheets man and he loves it. So he created our own budget spreadsheet where he keeps very, very, very detailed itemized spending, all of these buckets. So every month I have to go through my receipts and my spending of like Target. What did I spend at Target? What was gear marked towards like our food and general merchandise, like toilet paper, shampoo, dishwasher stuff, things of that nature, right? And I have to account for everything that I spent. Was it a like a beauty thing for me? Was it a gift? Was it a charitable donation? Was it groceries? What did I spend on? And we do that every single month. And as a chronic spender, it keeps me accountable. Boy, does it keep me accountable. And let me be clear, this is not in any way oppressive. This is actually wonderful because I need accountability or I'm going to overspend. And so he's my accountability for that. And he, at the same time, gets to save. We have great padding for savings. We have a great budget. I love everything about it. So in the moment, I don't, but I love what the heart behind it, right? And so we sat down and completed 2023 finances, and then he sat down, spent a couple hours looking at the budget, setting some goals, things of that nature, and then he brought me into the conversation. And we sat down for about 2 hours and went through line by line, bucket by bucket, and he goes, okay, how much money do you think you will need on X? So like, for example, we were talking about like my hair appointments and eyebrow appointments and pedicures, and I actually had to do a little stand up for myself thing. And I was like, well, in a perfect world, I'm getting a pedicure, which it amounts to X this many times, you know, and in order to be more budget conscious, I can maybe do this many times in a year. And then my eyebrows should happen every, 4 to 6 weeks. I sometimes try to get them pushed out to 8. So like we looked at the numbers, how much does it cost me to do this? And we came up with a budget that he, excuse me, he and I are both comfortable with for like literally my beauty budget, like for me, making me pretty. And so we have that, and we have my hair appointments and his hair appointments and all of those things. And we went through and talked together about our savings goals, because we want to save up for a down payment on a bigger house and all of these things. And like, how can we save for retirement, save for a down payment, save what kind of tech spend do we need this year, what needs upgrading, what are our intentions for home furnishings and this and that and grocery and all of these things. And you know what? I left feeling very empowered by this whole thing, very empowered by it, because I'm like, I have concrete numbers of goals for it. We decided to also separate our food from our general merchandise. So we have separate numbers for those. So I can go through and be like, this is my number bucketed for groceries and food and cooking for us at home and providing food for us at home, which is different from our date night budget, our eating out budget and things of that nature. So I felt like it was boring. It was long, and I was like, I don't want to do it anymore. But actually, I have numbers written down now that are actionable things that I can do to make sure that I can go out and spend what I need to spend, but still being reserved. I can be more diligent about my resources, which is exactly one of my goals for the year. And what a great way to start the first. What a great way to start the first. And then I'm also empowered to be like, okay, what do I want that's extra, and how can I go out and earn the money for the extra that's not already accounted for in the budget? And it just feels really good. It feels really good. So it's not a bad choice, y'all, to spend January 1st looking at your finances and setting your year up for success. Because when you have those concrete numbers, you are empowered. You are not limited. You are empowered to go forth and reach your financial goals. And it's really freaking awesome. So we did that yesterday too, which is why I was originally going to vlog yesterday for like, set up for the year with me. And that ended up taking way too much time. And so I'm like, okay, today's the day. Welcome to the vlog. I've been rambling for a really long time. I'm glad you're here. Let's go. All right, I'm gonna make myself some breakfast. If you are somebody who likes Canadian bacon in your food, I highly recommend, I buy the Sam's Club size packages, and I've started, instead of like, unless I'm making my fold over where the slices make sense, if I'm doing a scramble, cut it all up at once and just store it in a thing. Because now what I can do, which is amazing, so I've got some oil going on the pan, I literally just, I can just throw it in there. Easy. And now it's gonna sizzle away and it's done. It's zero work. So what I'm having is the Canadian bacon and the feta cheese and 2 eggs. And then to really like up that vibe of Mediterranean, we've got some sage, we've got dill, and we've got oregano. This I got from a Bonza Pizza PR box, the burlap and barrel. I've actually seen this company on Shark Tank after the fact, like long after I've been using and loving this. And this actually has a grinder on it. This is not sponsored, by the way. I just really, really love this. And the freshness of the oregano that you can freshly grind onto your things, so good, so good. So for the robustness of herbaceousness, I'm using these 3 spices that I will mix in here. I put the feta cheese on the hot pan to get it all crispy and melty. Oh, it's just so good. All right, here's what the eggs look like. And then if you were keeping track mentally, there's like no carbs in here. It's eggs, it's cheese, it's Canadian bacon. So to add my carbohydrates, I'm eating Fiber One cereal because look at the fiber content, y'all. Look at that fiber content. So this is my carb right here, and it's gonna help make sure that I get a decent amount of fiber first thing in my day. Okay, my coaching call is done. What an amazing coaching call. My client wanted to set some realistic goals, embracing kind of more of the fun side of life and focusing on some health goals, but without dieting, but just really trying to get herself back, her authenticity back, and feeling like she's been bogged down in the grind for too long and just trying to kind of find herself this year, especially before she turns 40 in June. And I am here for those goals. I have been loving helping my one-on-one clients set their goals for 2024, give them kind of the mindset shifts, the inspiration, and having them leave my calls feeling so much more lit up than when they got there has just been wonderful. So we got that call. I did do some of my content planning too, which was wonderful. So now we are putting on the housewifing hat for a little bit, and I am making what my friends have dubbed my coffee brownies. And I've showed you this before, but I'm going to show you again because it is the easiest way to elevate boxed brownies into brownies that your friends will not be able to get enough of. And here's what you do. Okay, so all we do, this is my favorite brownie mix to use, good old Betty Crocker with the Supreme Chocolate Chunk. So it's like her Delights one. It's not the least expensive one, but it's worth it to have those extra chunks in there of chocolate. Could you probably just add your own to a regular basic brownie mix? Probably. In case you're wondering, the tape measure is out here because I was measuring the glass pan that I have because I didn't know how big it was. So here's all you do. The ingredients are simple, right? Water, vegetable oil, and an egg. Instead of vegetable oil, you use butter. Good old, today I'm going fancy. I'm using the Kerrygold butter. 75 grams is the whoa. I touched it and things happened. It was 75 grams, and that was the third of a cup. And then for the quarter cup of water, we are using coffee, people. We are using coffee. I used one of my pods for my Nespresso, so the rest of it I'm going to be drinking. And that's it. The egg is still the egg. So you just mix everything together and you pop it in the oven and it's gonna be freaking delicious. So there we go. And then at the end, you top it with flaky sea salt, but I'll show you that once we get there. Can you tell? Yes, you can. I sprinkled them. The finishing touch is as soon as they come out of the oven. If you want to feel fancy, y'all, get yourself some Malden sea salt. I found it on Amazon. It's a little pricey for salt, but it's not so pricey that it's unpractical, especially if you want to just elevate your stuff. The sea salt flakes really give you the opportunity to just add some salt flair to anything. Like, look at this. Can I get it to focus? Look at this. They're just nice little flakes of sea salt. I love sprinkling them on baked goods. So if you've got like gooey chocolate chip cookies, a little sprinkle of sea salt, amazing, right? And so for the brownies, I have just a little sprinkle of sea salt on there. to take these brownies to the next level. Now what I'm doing is I've got the oven going because I'm gonna finish up those cookie dough balls that I said I was gonna finish up. Here's the chocolate chip ones, here's the butterscotch ones, and all I did with these, like I said, was I made the dough, and then I just pre-scooped them onto a thing of parchment paper on a plate, scooped them with the little cookie dough scooper, put them in the fridge, and they hold their shape really nice. And then once they are firm, I put them in a container. They don't stick together or anything, and it's a great way to have just cookies whenever the heck you want. What are you doing down here? Is that your bag? What are you doing? You can't just be quiet upstairs, can you? Daddy's working. Why don't you go hang out with him? Huh? No? Anyway, I am downstairs. I'm moving a lot slower than I anticipated today, but it's okay. We are consistently getting things done, which I feel really good about. The brownies are done. The cookies are done. I did some kitchen cleaning and stuff while I was waiting for the brownies to cook. I was originally going to come downstairs, and then I was like, I don't want to just, what if I don't hear the timer or climb up and down the stairs? So I'll just wait till after all the baking is done to come downstairs and do my workout. And while I was, puttering around, emptying the dishwasher, cleaning things up, things of that nature. Ooh, I'm struggling to balance on my knee. I also did some more reading in the book. I'm almost done with my first book of January, or my first book of the year, and it is January 2nd. Granted, I started it at the end of December, but still, it's gonna count towards my book count for January. Why are words hard? I don't understand my brain. I tell you what, my brain, I am longing for, and I started to get better, and I know we're on the up and up. We are past the winter solstice, which means that longer days are coming, more light is coming, but man, oh man, can my brain not function this time of year? It's really kind of mind-boggling, quite literally. Anyway, I also sat down and kind of rejiggered. I have this app called Grow. It's a very cool app. It kind of just tracks all of your stats for you and sums it up into one app. So it has my step goal, my water goal, my movement goal, my sleep goal. It's all in this one app, which is very cool. For a while now, I've actually had my step goal set at 7,000, something that's still indicative of reasonable amounts of movement in a day, but not so crazy that it's I must get 10,000 steps a day. And for whatever reason, the spirit moved me to as I was sitting there, filling in my water that I was drinking, I was I need to increase my step goal. Just out of the blue. I was I should be moving a little bit more. I need to move a little bit more. So I bumped it to 8,500, which means I have to do some Pilates, like the little one. Are you going to do Pilates? Are you gonna do Pilates? You're on my mat. So I'm gonna do Pilates, and I'm gonna get a solid elliptical workout in because I've still got quite a ways to go with the movement. But I think the reality is, even in diet life, right? In my primo dieting life, 10,000 step Brianna was thriving. There needs to be, there's a line, there's gotta be a line that I have to find between 10,000 steps, because that's the rule, that's the diet culture, that's to burn the calories, and understanding that 10,000 steps is because I feel good. So not necessarily needing to be religious about a 10,000 step day goal, not feel guilty if I undercut or guilty if I have a lazy day, but understanding that I tend to feel better when my numbers hit around 10,000 on an average basis. So I want to inch my way back into that as well. So time to get working out. Oh my goodness gracious. Pilates is hard, y'all. Pilates is hard. You're gonna have to bear with me as I get ready. By the way, I'm gonna do a real quick 5-minute look. This foundation right here, the Infallible, come on. This Infallible foundation, powder foundation, beautiful, on point, amazing coverage, and I don't know, a third of the price of the powder foundation I normally use. It was $12.99 or something, $11.99 maybe is what it was. And my It Cosmetics Celebration Foundation is $49, 42 or 49, something around there. And you know what? This foundation works just as well. No joke. Like, it's great. And there'd be even more coverage if I put on a liquid underneath it, but I'm just going a small group. I don't need anything crazy. These people love me for who I am, not what I look like. So it's the easiest, like, no makeup. I'm never gonna need a different foundation ever again. And this is the 10W 130. True beige is my shade. And y'all, it's flawless, it's perfect. Anyway, let's talk about Pilates for a second. I did an elliptical workout that was about 1.5 miles, divided up among 2 different, like, I did most of it first, and then I did the half-hour Pilates workout, and then I did the other half or other piece. It was like another 5 minutes or so on the elliptical. Pilates is hard. One of the things that I'm finding is the hardest part about it is my hip flexors. Those little muscles, those little ligaments, whatever they are, that run in the front of your legs, not your quadriceps, but like above, like at the hip joint, the hip flexors. Ouch. Ouch. They burn in a way that I didn't realize muscles could burn. And the problem is my core and my body and everything is so weak that the amount of energy it takes for me to hold myself up is enough to cause the hip flexors to start burning. It is intense. And so I have to say, I did have to have a little pep talk with myself, especially since the workout today was actually pretty challenging, all things considered. And there were plenty of things that I had to modify and that I could not do. And I had to just remind myself that any movement execution meant that my body was getting stronger, meant that I was pushing my body in a way that I don't normally push my body, even if I'm not at all executing the movement in the way it's supposed to be executed. And accepting that really helped, truly. Like, being able to acknowledge, okay, I can't do the thing that I'm trying to do, but I'm engaging the same muscles just in a much less strenuous way for the normal body. It was still very strenuous for me. It was like a side plank type situation. I can't do side planks. Absolutely not. There is no way that side planking is going to happen in the near term future. Now, it is entirely possible, and this is the thing I had to tell myself, that simply holding the position and doing any sort of subtle movement that engages the same muscles that Robin was working in the app, in the workout, is helpful. And if I continue to do just those simplified, modified movements over time, I'm still going to get stronger. And there is the potential that down the road, maybe I will be able to execute something that actually resembles that move. But today was not that day. And I had to tell myself that was okay. So this is just a friendly reminder that A, you can do hard things, and B, you can do hard things and you can make progress even if you're not executing the exact same thing that the person that you are taking your orders from is doing. Any movement, any muscle engagement is going to be more effective than no muscle engagement at all. And that is what I had to remind myself of today. And so, my friend, that is what I'm going to remind you of today, because I think that it is important that we acknowledge that it's okay to not be at the same level, and that any step in the right direction is progress. By the way, if you were paying attention, that was powder, foundation, eyebrow pencil, mascara, and lipstick. And that's it. 5 things, less than 5 minutes, although it might have taken more than 5 minutes because I was talking to you and getting distracted. But now I feel put together enough to go out, but I don't feel like I wasted a full face of makeup on a 2-hour excursion. So there's that. So my husband unplugged my Christmas tree. I had it set to the switch and I came in here and I was like, oh, it's evening. Oh, it's dark. While I'm getting ready, I'll have the glow of the Christmas tree in the background because we're not taking our Christmas tree decorations down yet. And the stupid thing is unplugged. I understand why he did it, but I'm kind of irritated because it took me a lot of work to get to that anyway. Good heavens. I'm going to stop the vlog here. Oh, but first, let's take a look at the to-do list. Did I do the things? Content brainstorm. Why, yes, I did. Pilates, check. Elliptical, check. Dishwasher, check. Fold the towels. I have not folded the towels. They are still sitting in the dryer and they will probably be sitting in the dryer until tomorrow. Make brownies, check. Finish cookies, check. Do my coaching call. Go to small group. That is about to happen. So we will check that and email the vet about getting Gracie a refill on her medication. Y'all, I did everything on my to-do list today except one thing, and I feel fabulous about that. And I feel like today was a really good, just kind of jump back in and show myself that I can show up for myself type of day. And that's why I wanted to share it with you. It might have been like boring in terms of the mundaneness of it all, but that's literally what I wanted to show you and show myself that I can show up for myself. I vlogged today. I showed you something. I talked you through something. I did a little get ready with me moment. All of those things add up to, oh, look at me showing up for myself and for my job and all of those things, and checking off the to-do list and making use of my time while the brownies were baking. Like I said earlier, I decided instead of like using that time to sit and do nothing or sit and read, which I did reach for my book several times today where I otherwise would have reached for my phone, bonus. I instead was like, oh, this is a great time to clean off the countertop and empty the dishwasher and do a couple of other house local things. Local meaning like the kitchen area. And it was a really productive use of the 37 minutes that the brownies were in the oven. And I just feel really solid about today. I'm exhausted because Pilates is freaking hard, but it's okay. I made myself a nice recovery beverage that had creatine powder and collagen supplement and inositol supplements in it. If you're interested in any of those, I'll link them down below for you. And I put them in with a little Kula kombucha packet, and which is one of the things that I absolutely love. And I think I have a discount code for them too if it's still active. I'll have all that linked down below. But it's my little recovery beverage. It gets me a little protein, little joint supplement, a little muscle supplement, winning all around, in hopes to mitigate the soreness that will inevitably come tomorrow, because I want to continue to show up for Pilates multiple days a week without having to take a 2 to 3 day break in between. So fingers crossed that that goes well and tomorrow I can get up and do it all again. And that's all I've got for you. Thank you guys for watching. Take care. Hit subscribe if you want to join the Diva and the Divine community, and I will talk to you later. Bye guys.